What's up, guys? Happy New Year, and I hope you guys are all off to a very fantastic 2021. I know that I am. I feel very optimistic. I feel very positive. I know that COVID is still here, and I know there's still issues, but they can't take my New Year's joy from me, okay? I know they try to take every other holiday away, but I'm holding on to New Year's, okay? New Year's is for me, and I feel really, really good about it. I hope you guys do as well. Today actually marks the start of our next Sync 60 challenge. So we've done this many times for the basically past year or two. And what it essentially is, it's a community-wide goal-setting program for Sync licensing producers. And we do it exclusively inside of Sync Academy. And who I have here is Alan Waltz. And Alan is actually a Sync Academy member who not only accomplished his goal the last time we did a Sync 60 challenge, but he also was our lucky winner that won that awesome keyboard you see on his keyboard on his screen right there, which is the S61 Native Instruments MIDI keyboard controller. And I'm actually going to be giving another one of those away for this Sync 60 challenge. So if you guys are in Sync Academy, definitely participate, definitely follow along. I just posted this morning how to get started, how to fill out your progress chart, and definitely watch that first tutorial because it's going to show you how to set specific goals. And that's a really, really important thing. I've seen some of you guys already filling out the progress chart and you're not putting specific goals. You're just saying working on music. Not good enough. That's not specific enough. You really need to tailor it down to complete one song, learn how to use one plugin, whatever it is. You really need to sort of tailor down your goals into something that's very, very concrete so that you know exactly if you're on track to complete that goal, okay? So what we do is we set this full 60-day goal for ourselves individually, and then we break that goal down into individual weekly mini goals, essentially, so that you don't have to think about, oh my gosh, I got to put together 12 songs for an album. That could take me forever, and I don't even have one song yet. Okay, don't worry about all 12 songs. Don't worry about the 60-day goal. What do you have to do now to get to your first week's goal? And so that's what really Sync 60 is all about. It's about writing your goals down and to be a part of a community where we're all holding each other accountable, because this progress chart is available for everybody in the Sync Academy. So, Alan, tell me about your last experience, man. I know you've been with Sync Academy for a little while, and I don't know if that was your first Sync 60 or if you'd done it before, but tell us about your experience, how it felt for you, what was your goal, and what was it like every single week checking in and marking that yes column?
Yeah, so this was my first experience with the Sync 60 challenge, and being held accountable and having that spreadsheet and checking in and getting those messages from you every week was so helpful and so motivating for me. My overall goal was to produce a minimal tension 10 to 12 track album. And staying on course and checking in every week held me accountable, and I was able to do it. I got the artwork done, I got photos done, and it's out there, and I'm ready to submit.
Wow, that's awesome, man. So before this, tell me about your goal-setting program or process. Did you have one? Did you struggle with this? Did you have something that worked? What was different about this you think really made the difference? Was it the weekly check-ins? Was it sort of, putting your information on this progress chart? What was the thing that you felt got you to complete this album?
Yeah, I think it was all of it. I think it was the weekly check-ins, the being held accountable within the community, your emails. Before this, I was kind of one of those DJ producers that was like, I feel a little bit of inspiration today. Let me go and see what I can come up with. And maybe it'd work, maybe it'd not. Maybe I'd come up with a cool chord progression or find a neat sample. Maybe not. If not, well, okay, nothing, right? So being held accountable and being within this community is so helpful just to keep you on track and keep you driven and keep you motivated. And I mean, the end result was a wonderful piece of art that I'm proud of that will last the rest of my life. And if it doesn't make it into a library, boy, and all of this is in great part due to being within the community and being held accountable with those emails that you send out every week. And I mean, look, you eat the art, the album, and all those things, and this is just a bonus. So I being part of this community is just so helpful as a producer to keep you on track. I can't encourage people enough to just stay with it, stick with it. Even on those tough days when it seems like nothing's happening, go on Splice and find a sample. This in itself is so motivating and piece of a tool that can be creative in creating that spark. So yeah, just keep at it.
That's awesome, man. And I want to emphasize a couple of things you said there that were so important. You know, you're talking about the days when you don't feel like creating. And that is pretty much the challenge of what we do here. Because, yeah, if we woke up every day and, like you said, if you had that, you know, burst of inspiration, if you had that all the time and we could just snap our fingers and get that feeling, we wouldn't need this stuff because you would just always feel like creating. You'd always have that motivation. But it's just the reality that we're not always in that open creative space. Sometimes we're blocked. Sometimes we're not having a good day. Sometimes we're just a little bit tapped for ideas, whatever it is, or there's emotional stressors going on in our lives. But whatever the issue is, we do have to, if we're going to do this professionally, we do have to figure out a way to get through that. And like you said, not just go, well, oh, well, I don't have any ideas today. I guess I won't make any music. That doesn't cut it if you want to do this full time. You really have to treat this as if it's like, you know, are we allowed to do that with our day jobs? Like if we just don't feel like going, can we just call the boss? Sorry, again, I know it's the 8th day this month. I just haven't felt like coming, but you know, it's just another day I don't feel like going. You're out, right? And so we understand that there is sort of like a stick-to-itiveness you have to have in life in order to succeed. And making music your full-time job, nothing different about that. There are certainly going to be days where it doesn't feel like a dream job. There are days where it does. There are days where this is just the best thing ever. But there are days where it's just a gig. It's just a job. It's kind of a trudge. You have to a trench that you have to really sort of like get into and dig yourself out of sometimes. And so I'm really glad, Alan, that you're able to use Sync 60 to do that for yourself. And the other thing you said, which is so powerful, is, you know, you have your album and you're going to get ready to shop it. Even if that doesn't get placed, even if that album doesn't land where you maybe envisioned it to be, nothing was a waste of time because now you've built a track record for yourself and you've really built a storyline for yourself in your own mind as, I'm a producer that gets stuff done. I'm a producer that can set a goal for myself. I can hold myself accountable. I can be a part of a community. And I now have a track record of hitting bounce on my tracks. I now have a track record of having a full album, like you said, with the artwork completed. And how good does that feel, right? That's just like the biggest sort of capstone. It feels so good to set a goal and to go, wow, like it's all here. And I'm sure that just gives you extra motivation. And that's really how motivation works, that if we constantly let ourselves down, if we constantly set goals and then fail to achieve them, we start tracks and don't finish them, you're basically leaving all these half-emptied projects all over your mental space. And so that's just constantly draining you because you're like, well, I had that one track that I didn't finish last week, but I got this new thing I'm working on now, but I'm not quite done with that. And there's just this constant sort of brain drain going on. But like you said, like Alan, when you were able to just be like, boom, this thing is done. I've got an album in the can. It's all good to go. And now I'm ready to shop it. You know, just that bit of confidence you feel, that bit of accomplishment that you've moved forward, man. You can't do anything. There's no way to like replace that. You can't shortcut your way to get that feeling. You have to earn that feeling for yourself, man. So I'm really happy that you're able to do that, dude. That's really, really cool. Any last minute thoughts or advice you want to give for somebody who maybe has not joined Sync Academy or has not participated in Sync 60? Because trust me, I'm still always surprised. We have a lot of Sync Academy members that do not participate in Sync 60, and I still don't know what's wrong with you guys. You really need to start participating with us, even if it's just something as little as improving your mixes or learning how to compress better or learning how to EQ better or whatever the thing is. I had one member I saw, he wants to learn how to play piano better. So every week, really, really smart, he's learning the keys. So he is, for week 1, it's like the key of C. And so he's learning left and right hand how to play piano. Very smart, right? So that's going to be a skill he takes with him for whatever he wants to do afterwards. So anyways, any advice you want to give to somebody who has not participated yet?
Yeah, just stick with it. You know, even on those tough days, even if it's as simple as I'm in my studio today and I'm going to try to be inspired with something, whether it's a piece of music or a piece of art, just try to get in this routine of going into the studio, allocating some time in your day for whatever amount of time it is. Even if you've got 15 minutes, get in there and start developing these habits, because these habits will carry over, and it's a building process, and it keeps building and building and building. And then before you know it, and if you're serious about this and you want to make a run at this game, this is what you got to do. Because when you start getting accepted by those libraries and they start asking for tracks, I mean, you say it all the time, Jesse, in all your videos. Who shows up? Who delivers? Who's going to make it into the inner circle? People drop out, new people come on board. Just get in this habit and those habits will continue to last through this process.
Absolutely, man. Can't say it better myself. You absolutely summed it up. So if you guys do want to do what Alan's doing and get stuff done and feel that sense of accomplishment and have this sort of track record for your own lives and for your own career to become that producer that does get things done, join us in Sync Academy. And if you're already in Sync Academy, join us for Sync 60. Today is the day we start. And basically every Monday, we're going to wrap up our weekly goals. So basically, if you haven't joined Sync Academy, you can join now until Monday, this coming Monday, to join with us to be eligible to win that really awesome keyboard that you see in Alan's screen right there, which is the S61 Native Instruments MIDI controller. So do not delay, don't wait. And obviously, as a new year is here and you might feel a little bit of extra inspiration and motivation and confidence, I know that I do, this is the time to harness that, right? So there's a little bit of extra wind in your sails right now. Use that wind, right? And push yourself forward right now, because you don't want to be kicking yourself in the butt 6 months down the road into the year and realize, man, I haven't really done much with my career. I had all this excitement in the beginning of the year and now it's like, I don't know. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Just whatever energy and whatever excitement you feel right now, push it towards your sync licensing career and getting some really cool stuff done. So we hope to see you guys in there. Thank you so much, Alan, for joining me today, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.